Hello, parents and readers. This is week 2, and today's conversation is around goals. And so we set goals the first week. And so our strategy for today is talking about our goals, checking in on our goals. And you know, as an adult, that it's important to check up on your goals because otherwise we don't pursue them and we don't track them and we don't follow up with them and then we don't meet them. So it's important that we're checking up on them regularly. And especially at the beginning when we set goals, like we just set them a week ago. So I'm checking in with them more regularly. And then as the summer goes on, I might go extend it to, 2 weeks instead of every week. But right now we're going to check in at least once a week. And we want some accountability, but it's also not to be punitive. It's not like you didn't do your reading this week, and so I'm taking this away. Because we really want to build a healthy environment and encouragement around reading. So it's checking in for accountability for both of us. So how do we do that? And it's just a conversation. So my wonderful reader right here is going to help us model that, the type of conversation I would have with her. All right, so to have our conversation, I wanted to make sure that she had her notebook and the books that she's reading and to have this conversation. All right, Riley, tell me how your reading went this week.
Pretty good. I was at my dad's, so I read a different book, but it's there.
Okay, so tell me about...
It was Dark Diamonds.
Did you finish it?
No, it's too long.
Okay. So tell me about the reading that you did while you were here.
When I was here, I read this book, and then kind of more than halfway through it. And then I read a little bit of this book, and it's pretty thick, so I'm not that far into it yet.
Okay.
And then I read this book, but I don't like it.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about choice and letting kids kind of jump around in different books. So that's perfectly fine, especially the first week that we're really kind of establishing our summer reading. So what are your next steps where you want to go with the 4 books that you're reading? Because you got one at your dad's and you've got 3 here.
I want to finish this one first.
Okay.
And then I want to read this one a lot. And I'll probably just read the other one at my dad's and I'll try to finish it separately there. And then I don't want to read this one anymore.
All right. So abandoning a book is perfectly fine, right? If we really suggest when kids are abandoning books that we are, if it's in the first few chapters, right? If they've read the majority of the book, we encourage them to push through, but it's early in the book, so it's okay to abandon that one. So get rid of it. Just kidding. All right. So this is this one, Summer, is a graphic novel, so you can finish that one pretty quickly. Let's set a date. So how many days where you should be reading an hour a day?
I can finish this in an
hour. Okay. So one more day on our graphic novel. All right. So did you do your reading yet today? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I haven't done my reading today.
Okay, so you're going to finish that one today?
No, I'm finishing it tomorrow.
Okay, you're going to finish it today.
No,
all right.
Tomorrow.
Riley. All right, so let's think about this book.
Sorry, I need 2 hours actually to finish it.
All right, so let's talk about this book right here. And let's get a plan because it looks like are you being consistent with your reading?
Well, I started that one during school and then I didn't read it for a while.
Okay, so you need to jump back into it. So what happens is when we kind of take breaks from our reading and we're not being consistent with our daily reading, then we are forgetting what we're reading and that momentum at the beginning is not followed through. So we need a plan to get you through that book. And something that I teach my students is that we chunk up the book. So look at how many pages is in that book.
$593.
All right, so 590, and we chunk it up by 10 days to make sure that we're keeping that momentum. And if you don't meet your daily goal, it's okay, but that is what we're shooting for. So we would be shooting for, you say 590?
593.
So about 59 pages per day. And one of the ways that we can keep track of that is by using a bookmark. And if you could use a white piece of paper. We've got sticky notes here, along with sticky notes as a bookmark, but you'll track your reading and set, so your first goal would be to read to page 59. So I would put the bookmark there, so you have that goal for you.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to try that strategy out, and then we'll check back in next week when we're checking on our reading goals again. All right, so here's what I want you to do as a parent, or something to try out as a parent. If you have younger readers, it may be that you could use a bookmark because they're just starting chapter books and we're chunking out that. But it also might be a conversation that you're having about making sure that they feel comfortable abandoning book because it's not a just right book for them. Like they're not reading with accuracy, or they are not engaged in it. So have a conversation about what they're reading, how their reading is going, and then give them some tips to help move them forward toward that goal. If you remember, Cohen had, his goal was to read more fiction, because he's really our nonfiction reader. And he is tracking his reading on a Shelfie. And he read 2 graphic novels, the Narwhal series. And series are a great way to continue to keep kids reading. He doesn't ever have to guess what he's reading next, because there's like 7 or 8 books in the series. And that's really helped him meet his goal this week. And so encourage your kiddos to meet those goals, but also give them some tips to support them towards meeting their goals. All right, happy reading this week.